Hello and welcome, everybody. I'm going to type my little message. So hang in there and just take a couple deep breaths. Get yourself just relaxed and centered, and we'll start in a minute. Uh, I can't do both at the same time. So thanks for your patience. Uh, hey, Pure Love is joining on this end. Hello. All right, here we go. So let's see where we start today. Just start by being aware again. Just we always come back to this. So this being aware of your environment, because during the day, how fast are you moving through life that you're actually catching everything that's around you all the time? Likely not. I catch myself, and I notice that if I'm faster I'm moving, the more my mind kind of starts to kind of take off with my movement. So it's work in progress. So take a minute to like slow down from wherever you're coming from before here, and wherever you are, if you're waking up or getting ready for bed or in between, and let yourself just kind of settle in, relax. How many times do we sit down to eat and we're like eating really fast? I do catch myself doing that, especially when I know there's something that I want to get to after after lunch or after whatever. So just to feel your muscles, take a moment to just breathe into your muscles and kind of slow down and feel them relaxing. And you might feel where there's some muscle tension in your body, and just kind of feel that and just say, okay, let's kind of sigh into that and just like, well, let's just take a minute to relax here. We can always get back on the go later. So feeling yourself just kind of slowly melt down into sitting. Standing, if you're standing, that's fine. Maybe switching over to sitting, just to really take advantage of that being present, being in the moment, and just relaxing in. When we stand up, my tendency is to pull our energy upward. So sometimes that's good. And just for right now, let's really focus on just going in deeper and just relaxing more. Yeah. So kind of sluggish bugs out there that I'm seeing joining in. And I say sluggish because the energy is just kind of a little slow and not bright and light like we'd like to be. That's okay. We'll get to that. And maybe taking some breaths in, and kind of you can simulate a sigh, and a sigh is kind of really good to just kind of relax into a deeper place. So you just kind of breathe in through your mouth and go until you kind of reach that top, and then just let it all out through your mouth. And you might find yourself kind of doing a real sigh after that. And take off my scarf here because it's warming up here as the energy starts flowing more easily, just like with the blood flow. Then, uh, and I can get pretty warmed up because I get a lot of energy moving through the system. So that's a familiar piece for me in sessions. So feeling those muscles just relaxing. So let's take a deep breath in. And if you want to keep your eyes open or close your eyes, either way is fine. And let's just tune into those muscles. Might have a particular area. See if you can start by just getting a sense of all the muscles in your body, all the way through. There's areas that we don't automatically think of when we say muscles. We tend to think of the muscles that are around the bones, the legs, and the usual muscles. And you'll know the following, but we tend not to think about that when we say let's focus in on muscles. But your heart is a muscle, and then there's a very different kind of muscle in the intestinal um, structures as well that have their own very specific function to keep all that moving along, shifting food along. Energetically, if you're working with frequencies, energy frequencies, green is a good color for the muscles. Muscles carry the energy through. So when you have energy work being done on you, uh, if you've got a really good practitioner, they're going to put themselves run that energy through rather um, through the muscles to get it through the system. It will go through everything, but that's kind of a big carrier of frequencies of energy. So I'll just start kind of activating that for people of opening up that flow. Yeah. So we're kind of, yeah, okay, this is interesting. We're kind of working more on the energetic systems right now that are closer to the physical body. So like the chakras. So I'm seeing that opening up for people, like the feet chakra. Somebody asked me the other day if uh, they heard someone out there saying that the chakra system is disappearing. So I think that's just going to depend on what people need. It's going to be on an individual basis, as opposed to across the board, everybody's doing the same thing. If you need them, they're going to be there for you. If you don't need them anymore and you're shifting out of that level, then uh, your system will take care of that. But right now, today, that's kind of opening up for people. So the bonds of your feet and the soles of your hands, a lot of people know this and a lot of people don't. There's kind of chakras about as big as your palm. So on the soles of your feet, they're opening up for people. Good for grounding. If we're using that system, if we're looking at that system rather. So that's starting to get that flow moving better through people's legs. Well, you're welcome to comment in if you if you want to, just if you're noticing that flow. Okay, getting a yes on one side here. So good. Yeah, some people are a little stuck in their legs. We're going to help keep moving that through. And if you're stuck in your legs, that could be a lot of things like you're just not really grounded. People think they're grounded. At the energetic level, at the level of the energy field, people tend to, generally speaking, people who think they're grounded have a tendency to not think they're grounded. And their energy field is actually pulled up higher than where it should be, which should be around all the way down below your feet. So some people are not quite there, and a lot of different reasons for that. People who work on their computers a lot are probably way up here. all the time. So common everyday life here for these times of people being on the computer a lot, on their cell phones a lot, and like that. Athletes tend to not be in their bodies at all. And part of the reason for that is that they've got to keep pushing through the game, and when you look like an American football player with the amount of impact the body's taking, that's a lot of pain that can be generated in the body. And so you got to keep running, you got to keep moving. So you pull up away, and we do that. If you were to hit your thumb with the hammer, you'll notice it's like you pulled back away, because if your awareness was really, if your focus was really in your thumb, it would hurt like hell. So it's just to kind of soften that blow, soften that feel. It's you pull back, all the way back away to feel it less. So pulling up. Dancers are not grounded. Gymnasts are not technically, we're not really grounded for the most part. It kind of depends. Yeah, nope. I'm seeing a lot of them are actually not that grounded, but they're able to manage themselves. They think gymnasts, well, they're jumping all over the place and doing flips and everything. So you have to have there's another spatial orientation thing that seems to be kicking in for them a bit more, and it's more it's control of the body as opposed to really being anchored in the body. So, Kayla, I think see if that makes sense for you for your gymnast experience. Yeah, I've seen you on there. Um, it feels like it's something else that up here that kind of takes control of the body, and like and so that kicks in the muscle memory, but not that's different than being grounded in your body. Very different. At least that's my sense of the gymnasts I'm tapping into. Let's put it that way. All of this, I mean, generalizations, of course, there's going to be some people who are going to be more in their bodies than others, but ballet dancers, toes, you look at those toes, toe shoes, binding those toes. Um, yeah, to be able to get up in those toe shoes, and all of your muscles when you're dancing, because I've done toe work. You're it's you're really pulling up. That's the way you get up on those toes. I was so ungrounded I couldn't get the power to really do powerful tumbling pass and other really strong moves. Um, yeah, it's interesting. It just feels like there's a lot more upper body. Uh, yeah, maybe it depends on the gymnast styles, but it feels like there's just a lot more like ballet, like dancing, pulling up into the body, uh, into the upper body more. Um, I could think about my body to get it to do the moves, but not be able to get the power to do them strongly. Uh, yeah, that's a that feels like that's a will thing. Like you didn't really have the will and the volition to do it more than question of being grounded or not. But yeah, those are interesting insights there. Well, you didn't have my sense is you didn't have the drive to to really push yourself to get to that um, stronger move thing. So breathing into those muscles, really feeling those muscles, and yeah, and so we got there. The flow. It's okay. Moving up through the body. Some hip issues for people. So a little bit of stuckness in that energy moving through. That's all right. We'll just kind of clear that out. But muscles, yeah. So as I work on getting that flow going through you, you can work on focusing on bringing your awareness to your muscles, allowing your muscles to relax. And as the muscles relax more, then you can have a better flow energetically going through you. Yeah. Yeah, so the slug bugs that I was seeing at the beginning here who have joined us, I can just call you slug bugs, so just out of love. Also true, I joined to just have fun, and then when our gym got bought out by Jim, that trained Olympic gymnast, I was so burnt out. I just wanted to go. I didn't want to go anymore. Yeah, yeah, that could get well. Any of those, any of those disciplines where we really have to work with our bodies and work hard with all that to really push with the training, there's that can easily lead to burnout if that's not well balanced. And a lot of people, unfortunately, don't learn to do all those beautiful sports, beautiful disciplines, physical disciplines, the body in a way that is balanced, that is whole, that is really bringing the whole person, that's not bent on, do, and push, and compete and win. But bringing that whole person to the picture. Uh, so you can only push yourself so far, and then you just collapse. Yeah, Simone Biles kind of comes to mind. I mean, it's not that maybe she didn't have her heart in it, but there's a way that was just push, and then you reach a point where it's just you can't do it anymore, and you got to let go. Um, so yeah, working through those hips. Ooh, let's see what's going on there. Um, keep breathing into your muscles, and with each breath, just like feel the breath going through the muscles and just relaxing those muscles even more. If you've got a tight spot, you can go there and just kind of breathe into that, and have the energy will just go into that and expand out. So much more physical level of the energetics here today. That's good. Sometimes we need to just go back to um, those levels. Oh, let's see what's going on with that. Those hip areas for people. A lot of so what I'm seeing coming up is that on the inside of the body, there's not a lot of uh, one's presence, one's awareness, one's consciousness, and it's kind of bleeps in and out. Our abdomen will we tend to carry a lot of emotion in there, or can a lot of other people's stuff, other people, and people think of the intestines when I think of low of abdomen, but there's the space around the intestines, the space that the intestines is in. Um, so kind of opening that up for people, releasing some of this stuff. Some people have some back issues. Um, almost looks like somebody might have broken their back or something. That had a back injury in the lower back there. Um, above the hip area, I would say above the sacrum, lumbar area. So gotta work on that too. Wow, that was pretty. It looks like that might have been just painful. kind of relaxing down. Yeah, there's so much pulling up on this person's back that getting that's actually kind of creating a jam in that one area. So getting that to relaxed out, and just as I keep working, talking about this other stuff, I keep just having you focus on your muscles. Yeah, and that'll be good for this part too. Yeah, so that's part of a grounding issue because it's like the energy can't drop down. There's so much kind of like pulling up, um, but there's this uh, the head is pulling up and the body is trying to relax down. It's trying to come down. So you've got these two forces that are going like this. So the head is trying to pull the body up, and the body's just trying to unwind and relax down. I've seen that a lot where with body injuries, where like even a leg or whatever, um, the person does a false move, kind of thing, or steps funny, and the body just would fall and flow into a certain direction, but the mind is trying to like stay upright, stay recorrect, and it's pulling in the other direction. So you got body going one, trying to go naturally flow in one direction, and the mind's going eat. And so you've got this twist that happens, and that's causes an injury. That can cause a pretty serious injury instead of just kind of letting ourselves go limp and go into the movement. Um, and maybe it'll look ridiculous in the process, but that's how it works. In fact, there's a woman I did a workshop with, Emily Conrad Dowd, who does very interesting body movement called Continuum. And so she, having worked with this flowing movement of the body, which I won't get into, uh, uh, she was in a car accident and got rear-ended. And instead of like "Ooh," going like that and stiffening up with her neck, she just kept going into the movement and unwinding and just letting the body flow the way it wanted to. And it was a pretty severe accident. Went to the hospital and they were in shock when dealing with her. It's just like the impact that your car had, you should have major uh, neck injury and nothing, no bruising, no nothing. So goes to show what your body is able to withstand when mind gets out of the way. So bringing into that mind that relaxation of the muscles. Yeah. Okay. So let's bring that down because I see that everybody's there's not everybody, but there's a bit of this upper torso and then this lower um, uh, disconnection between the upper and the lower here for people, or for some of you, not all of you, but for some of you. So let's open that up. So if you're the kind of person who has had intimate relationship and you find that you don't have that love and connection between love and sex, and you can do it really separately, that can be a disconnection there, creating that separation of upper half and lower half of the torso. Oh, there's that kind of brought through a flavor of uh, sex for vengeance. Ooh, that just sounds nasty. Um, Spiteful, a lot of spitefulness. So we're going to clear that up because that's just not a great flavor for you individually to have. That's just, yeah, mixing up things that there's no reason to mix them up. Just that's sort of like being passive aggressive, actually, in a way. Instead of really expressing yourself, you're taking that expression to another way, and for the purpose of hurting, as opposed to the purpose of voicing what you need to voice and clearing that out. Hey, Roma. Hello, Roma. We're doing a very physical level, um, energetic stuff. We're clearing out chakras. We're clearing out, focusing on the muscular system. So come on in, join us. Take a deep breath, settle into your muscle system, and let's relax that muscle system out. That's also kind of working on the nervous system too. Also just in tandem, because that's part of relaxing more into our system is that nervous system to just kind of slow down. If I always get these mixed up, I think, but the parasympathetic nervous system, just getting that to kind of kick in more and bring in that relaxation. Correct me if I'm giving the wrong name, if I the wrong system. Hey, yes, all very much needed. Very good. That's why you're here. Yeah, there we go. Opening that up. So that's taking out a deeper layer. So just keep moving that breath through the muscles. You can do a specific area and then coming through the whole your whole muscular system and your gut. Let's bring into your gut and also your heart. And do them separately. They're kind of different types of muscles. Yeah, the gut muscles are very different, but breathe into your gut. That's a nice one to do. Just bringing that relaxation in there, especially if you've got stress. Yeah, a lot of people that tend to just hold their stress in their gut. Uh, so clearing, helping to shift that a little bit, at least for a moment, to kind of give a rest here. Huh. And also when we're pulled up into their heads, so really kind of focus on bringing that head energy down, that awareness down out of the head a little bit more into that lower abdomen area and the whole intestinal area. Yeah, bring it down. Just let it flow down. Yeah, there we go. We're getting there. You're about lower ribs right now, so just keep letting it flow down. Keep bringing yourself further down. You don't have to jump in all the way. In fact, it's better to just kind of move slowly down. We'll get there, yeah. Very good. That's just a lot of things dropping down, dropping out, so that's good, yeah. You need that. Dropping out that heaviness of all that stuff you don't need to be holding on to. Worries, upset. Stress, anxiety. You know, you can even put a hand on your belly to just kind of hold that area. You know, that's kind of a way to just love that area, just putting your hands on that area, you know, and you know, kind of parenting that area. Yeah, wow. That's kind of opening things up for people with my saying that. So there's maybe some childhood stress there coming through. Ooh, yeah, very nice. Okay, wow. Yeah, that kind of was a good one. That really opened up for people there. Those legs also. I'm going to work a little bit more on those legs. Get that energy moving through pretty well through the whole system, through the core. It's going through the legs and through the core channel there. We're not getting into the chakras today. We're just that's going to happen automatically. Um, but just getting that's moving through really nicely from where we started up the feet and into that core channel for that level of the non-physical structures of our beings. Yeah, very nice. Some people look like they have little bit of inflammation and a little bit of mental dominance relative to their. And so I'm just focusing on the legs right now for the legs. So, um, and what I mean by mental dominance, how to explain that? Basically, you're not being in your body. You're connecting with your body, but you're doing it outside. You're doing it from up here. So it sounds weird. It sounds like, well, I'm putting my awareness on my legs. This is coming up with the legs. What happens with people is they're actually coming from here and going through outside their bodies into instead of like coming in through and being the neck, being the coming in and really being that. So floating into through by being in their bodies. So yeah, relaxing the head back. So let me restate that. Relaxing the awareness back from the front, from your frontal lobe area. That's a really heavy thinking area. Take a deep breath and just let yourself relax back. And then on the exhale, just, not just one or two or three, however many you want to do, but each exhale, if it's more than one, just moving down through the body, all the way down. Yeah, there we go. And through the legs. Much different feeling when you do it that way. It should feel a bit different. It should feel like more connected, like more whole body experience instead of just maybe feeling just the legs. Yeah, very nice. Let's go all the way down to the feet that way. Yeah, good. Moving through. It might, for some people, it might feel denser, which, if you think about it, you're moving through your body. You're not moving through air. You're moving through your body, so that could feel denser. Yeah, that makes sense to me. All the way to those feet, and both feet, both legs, both feet equally. The soles of your feet all the way to the toes, in between the toes. Let's get the whole feet in going there. Yeah, there we go. Better, much better. Ankles. All right. Yeah, very nice. Take a minute to feel yourself this way. Yeah, that should feel a bit different. And if you find yourself kind of pulling back up into your head, just that habitual pull back up. Come back down. Just take a deep breath in and just like, okay, just for right now, let's just come back and chill into our bodies. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Opening up that deeper state of being for everyone here as we just allow ourselves to relax in more deeply. Ah, very good. Very nice. Settling in, settling down. If there's anything, any comments anybody want to share or questions or anything, or we can just have another chill day. That's always good to have. All right. Well, I think we're going to call it a day. And it was a nice, relaxing, well, it was relaxing, but it was a very nourishing session today. It's, let's see, tomorrow I'm going to see the doctor, have some pains and aches in my midsection. Oh, maybe you're the one who was coming in earlier. Before you came in, there was a lot, lumbar area was an area that was really showing up on the back. Um, so we did work on that. Uh, my back has been so tight and sore the past couple days. It feels totally better now. Thanks for helping with the stickiness. Yeah, good. So Roma, let's take a minute to just go in a little deeper in there. Yeah, see there anything you see. Um, yeah, there's a lot of just everything's pulling in tightly. So see if you can allow yourself. Let's see, where's the best area? Okay. See if you can bring your awareness down to your tailbone. Um, you got a lot of stress there. This is how old is it? It's not current stress, it's older. It's an older stuff. And there's just a lot of fighting kind of energy there. Uh, a little bit of what it feels like. There's not a whole lot coming through, but it just feels like there a lot of like fighting to assert oneself kind of setup there. Uh, in that area. So come into your lower the tailbone area, uh, and I'm gonna see if I can shift that's some for you. And it's a lot about what I was saying earlier about just the body is getting the lower body's getting pulled up because of what's going on in more at the head level, at the thinking level. And there's actually you've got a lot of this old patterns of uh, on your back, like carrying people on your back. So energetically carrying people. That makes sense for you, Roma. So that's actually kind of creating a block. And so as the head is trying to move forward, get, the thought, the thinking pattern, just trying to move forward, that's pulling the lower body up, but then there's this block. And so it's not able. So that's creating a lot of tension in that um, lower. It feels like it's waist, but feels like it's a little lower than well, actually, it depends where your waist is. So it's lower than my waist is. Let's put it that way because I'm kind of long waisted. Um, so above it's I think it's low. It's the lumbar area. Does all that make sense for you, Roma? Old. Wow, this feels like it's old family tradition. From before. So not so much you, but stuff that's gone past in your lineage, um, your family line. Yes, totally. Good. Okay, good, good. We're coming. We're gonna like shift some of this stuff. Wow, it's like this big heavy thing. Um, really come into your back, and also let's do the upper back now. And what I like to do for myself actually is when we have that kind of energetic setup in our backs, it can be really hard to really feel our backs. So I've literally just pulled my shirt or pressed against the thing so you can feel that contact. You can feel that physical contact. All stuff that I'm releasing, absolutely. So let's move it through. Let's getting it shifted more deeply because it's not that it's a heavy thick layer, but it's really entrenched, and it's almost like there's an inch in your back that's not existent in terms of you and your awareness. So I would say lean against something so that your back, like I'm doing with the chair, so that you have that physical contact and you have that physical tactile sensation to help you bring your awareness more easily into that area. Because there's just such a layer that's um, and it's gonna sound weird, but it's almost like I can see the bones sticking through it. That's how deep it is. So it doesn't seem like it would be very deep, but let's really get that shifted for you. That's just a so dense, not in thickness, but in just in terms of uh, I don't know, baked on there. It's like that crud in your oven that you try to scrape it off and it just won't come off. I mean, it's like that. So just breathe into that and focus in a little bit more deeply here for you. I'm gonna say some stuff in a minute, but I want to shift through this first. And keep breathing into that air, into your back there. Roma, you're doing good. It's at least a very it's like this very baked on layer because there's a lot of generations in that. I think that's happening to a lot of us as we step into this new consciousness. It's sort of like you're the end of the line for your family line, and it's like because you're shifting into the new, all of a sudden it's that kind of family patterning of passing on over the generations to the next, it's sort of like it went boom. And because you're the one who's shifting out, it's all of a sudden boom, the brakes of putting on the brakes and it's slammed into you kind of effect. So shifting all that out there's yeah, there's some of your dead ancestors. Of course, they're dead, but that are actually releasing here. I'm seeing releasing out of that. Wow, this is actually pretty cool. Um, so it's almost like your whole family line from all the way back. This just this movement of trying to survive and always trying to move forward and just that getting passed on to the next and to the next and to the next and uh, hitting this point where we are and that's stopping that. Uh, I don't know if you're feeling this, but I'm seeing a lot of people shifting, a lot of dead people shifting out of that patterning, actually. So being released. So, yeah. Mm. I'm glad you showed up. It is invaluable. Thank you for holding space. Yeah. Is that feeling lighter for you? It should feel lighter, but I think you were coming in earlier because that really uh, before you showed up physically, you were coming in. If you listen again to that later, you'll hear me talking about that lower back in that area. That lumbar area was already, we're already starting to open that up. So that's the upper back is looks much better. Um, and there's a bit on the lower back. That's a different kind of a different piece, but wow, it really interesting because I was able to shift this layer off of you, but then instead of it just removing out, it's like it created this space between you and this whole family line. And there's just all these ancestors are just shifting out. Uh, um, so shifting to that, yeah, releasing out and being able to just like uh, move to where they need to be. So really cool. There was a pain in between the shoulder blades. Yeah. Um, yeah. How can I describe that? It's it's like that twinge we get in the heart, that emotional twinge, and usually people feel it in the front, and it's hitting you in the back, which is not the usual area. Um, but you know, sometimes you get people and they're just like because they feel that twinge of that. Uh, well, usually, like for example, so maybe this is what's going on. But when people they separate, they break off from somebody they love, you know, in a love relationship, they'll just like you feel that pain in and usually it's like this, and people are like, you know, going like this. It's in your back. So that's what's happening with the in between the shoulder blades and the back there. Yeah. Wow. Just, yeah, so that's off, that's separated from your physical body. Um, okay, so that's releasing out there. How's that feeling, Roma? That was kind of an interesting little piece there. Huh. Okay. Well, good. You joined in at the right time. Glad you joined in because that was an important piece to do there for the family. Feeling lighter and spacious there. Oh, yeah, good. Very good. Yeah. And I think everybody else I'm looking up because I just saw all these spirits, all these lifting up, moving up. So really nice. So glad you showed up, and we were able to get that get that shifted out. Yeah, that's very nice. So thank you. Well, and thank you, for your appreciation, and glad we could help those out because that it's just time. It's just time. We gotta get people to the right place. So okay, well, good session. Good for everybody for showing up. Thanks for showing live or on the replay. Certainly feel people coming up on the replay, and and great. So next Wednesday, same time, same place, and in between, see you in the ethers. So take care and have a good rest of your week.